Hi friends, good morning. As you know, I have been working remote for over a year now at home, but also too if I need to go somewhere or do some traveling, which hasn't been too much this past year, but you know, there's slowly becoming more and more of that. And I wanted to take you through not only the day in the life, but also to different tools that I use to ensure that working remotely is as successful as possible. Also, before we get into the video, I want to say a big shout out to Visible for sponsoring it. Thank you so much. I have been using Visible, a wireless service provider, for a while now, and it's a game changer. I feel like I've been through so many different service providers that when I came across them and started using them, I can see the hype around it. So I'm super excited to share with you about Visible as well throughout the video. Okay, so it is around, what time is it? It's around 8 a.m. right now, and just finished getting ready. Earlier today, I took the dogs for a walk on the beach and going to kind of get ready to start my day now. Okay, hi friends, good morning. So first thing I do after, we've taken the dogs out, as I mentioned, and I get ready for the day is I come out on the patio. It's usually really quiet. It's kind of windy today, and I check my phone. I see if there's any emails I need to catch up on, and just kind of ease into the day. I have a coffee, and yeah, the best way I can describe it is to ease into the day. And to kind of get on, the first tool I use that I rely on is obviously my phone, but then also too is a wireless service provider, which is Visible. I've been through, I feel like, as I mentioned, a lot of different service providers, and the reason for that is because I kept on feeling like there were so many hidden fees throughout so many different ones that I've tried, and you think you're signing up for something and then you get something completely different as far as the fees go. So when I started looking into Visible and using Visible, that's when I have become obsessed with it. I tell all my friends about it because there literally is no hidden fees. And they say no hidden fees, $25 per month upfront. It's so straightforward. Also too, I wanted to get my family on Visible as well because they do have what they call party plan, and if you have up to 4 people on Visible, you're each going to pay $25 a month. Like, I think I went to get fast food the other day, and even for like a hamburger and fries, it came to more than $25 with the burger, with the soda as well, which is crazy. So the fact that you're paying that little is pretty awesome. And also too, then my second thing was I was skeptical, well, if I'm paying that little with no hidden fees, what is the quality going to be like? And I can tell you from, once again, experience, it's amazing. Even from the beginning, when I signed up with eSIM, it took under, honestly, 15 minutes. I could do it from home. I didn't have to go into a retail store or call in. It was just like all online like that. Actually, I'll show you quickly what their process is like for that. Visible's homepage. And right away you can see that get unlimited data powered by Horizon for as little as $25 per month, taxes and fees included. So you can see there's 2 options. You can bring your phone or buy a new one. And then if I go to sign up with eSIM, so this is what I did, and it took significantly under 15 minutes, which is pretty crazy. So essentially, as it says, eSIM allows you to easily switch to Visible when you bring a compatible phone. In as little as 15 minutes, you can start enjoying unlimited data, messages, and minutes. Also, they include 5G, and once again, as low as $25 per month. You can check your phone's availability here, or compatibility, I should say, and go to iOS, for example. See, they have a ton of different options. Android, I don't have an Android, but you can see here, you can enter in your digit number, and they have as well a ton of different options. Okay, scrolling down a little, you can see they have wireless without annual contracts or long-term commitments. Also, I like how they do a good job of explaining what eSIM is. So it stands for embedded SIM, which means no more waiting for a SIM card to arrive to activate your phone. So yeah, that's kind of how I start my morning. The first tools I use would be my phone, and then obviously linked to my wireless service provider, Visible. But now it is almost time to go inside for my first meeting, which I've mentioned before is a stand-up where it's 15 minutes and we talk about what we did the day before, what we're doing today, and any blockers. So let's go to the meeting. Okay, so I also want to share with you some other tools that I use as a remote software developer. Definitely a collaboration tool that is dependent on what team you're working on and what they prefer. So it might be Jira, it might be Slack, it might be Trello, but basically a communication tool that allows you to let your managers and other people know exactly what you are working on. Other tools I use on a daily basis, definitely Slack, Microsoft Teams, Zoom, different kind of things like that, depending on what the purpose is for them. But communication tools, I can't stress enough, are so key and so important. Another tool I really like to use is some kind of timer, like Pomodoro technique. And I find for me, I work in time blocks of an hour. So I'll work for an hour, then maybe take 5 to 10 minutes to go for a walk or get some tea or coffee. And that really helps me keep focused, because when you're working remote, it's easy to get distracted. So having kind of time chunks or time blocks where you actually solely work really helps me. Today after my meeting, I started working on a new feature. I read the requirements again, although it was reviewed, but just to kind of make sure, give myself a refresher. And then before I just dive into writing code, I'll have a plan. I'll have a structure of how I want to write it, what pieces I want to do first, rather than just kind of diving in. I like to have a plan and do it step by step. Okay, hi friends, I'm back. It's lunchtime here now. I did quite a bit of work this morning, finished up on a ticket I was working on, and then did some PR reviews. What else did I do this morning? That pretty much took up my whole morning. So just kind of did some work around coding and that kind of stuff. And then now it's lunchtime and I needed to get some dog food. So as you can see, the back is a mess because of the dogs. So when I got some dog food, and now I'm going back home to eat lunch. And while I am here talking to you, kind of going back to wireless service providers and going back to really tools that I use as a software developer, and that being one of them, is something I cannot stand is getting into a contract, or I'm very fearful of, is getting into long-term contracts. And with Visible, you do not have to get into any long-term contracts or any contracts, which is another huge, what does that sound? On my list. I think it's really great and says a lot about a company when you don't have to necessarily get locked into anything, meaning that they obviously have enough faith or proof of concept that their wireless service is amazing and no one's going to leave anyways, which is pretty awesome if you ask me. Okay, so I just got home and I'm actually about to have some lunch. I'm gonna have chicken tacos, which sounds so good right now. I'm so excited. But actually, when I parked to run another errand, I filmed a quick video of tech facts that still blow my mind. And I feel like I need to share it with you here too, because leave in the comments. These are very obvious and well-known tech facts, but they still blow my mind. So I wanna share it with you. Okay, I want to share with you 3 tech facts that are pretty well known, but for whatever reason, still blow my mind. HTML was first written 28 years ago in 1993 by Tim Berners-Lee. I was born in 1992. I'm 29 years old. How am I older than HTML? Another one that is super crazy to me is email existed before the World Wide Web. I know logically this makes sense, but it takes me a minute to kind of register it. I always correlate email with internet and World Wide Web. Does anyone else find these facts weird? Okay, hi friends. I'm actually just eating a salad right now while I wait for my chicken tacos to heat up in the oven. And yes, I'm with my friend Jack Nicholson in the background here. But I wanted to, while I'm waiting for my tacos, talk to you a little bit about more how it's been like working from home, working as a remote developer, and some of the pros and cons that come with it. Definitely, I would say something that happened when I first started working remote was it's hard to get a sense on people's communication styles. So, you're using Slack or whatever platform you're using to message people, and you don't really know, you want to be professional, so you don't want to use a ton of emojis, but you also want to get a sense for how they're reacting to you. So it was kind of weird navigating how people were feeling, especially when you start at a new company like I did while onboarding essentially remotely. It's tricky because you have so many questions to ask and all of that, but you feel like you're bugging people so much more when it's done remotely, I find. And then another thing I would say that was really tricky doing remote at first was making sure that I was constantly having good service. I There's a few times before I was with Visible that I'd be on my phone trying to do some messages for work, and it was super unreliable. And that's one of the reasons I actually started looking for different wireless service providers, was because I felt sometimes as though I would have to message my manager being like, you know, my service right now is being really spotty. Sorry, I didn't get your message. Different things like that while I was on my phone, which is super unreliable and unprofessional. And one thing I have found with Visible is I never have those issues, which is huge, huge. Anyways, I'm gonna eat this salad because it's really hard to talk and eat at the same time. I don't need you to watch me get a million different spinach pieces in my teeth. But I will be back soon. I want to update you on is these are the chicken tacos. I am so excited to dive into them. Okay, hi friends, I'm back. I basically spent my afternoon just working away on some different tickets, and what else did I do this afternoon? It went by really fast, but we are almost at the end of day now. I had to put on a proper shirt because I had some meetings as well. One thing I think there's a huge misconception with as far as working in tech, especially when it comes to developers, is that we don't talk to anyone, when in reality there's a lot of meetings between different kind of, you know, developers and designers and QA versus product managers. There's so many people that you need to talk to throughout the day that yes, there is a lot of meetings. Anyways, so that's kind of the rest of my day. I hope you enjoyed going through this video with me, talking about some different tools to use when you are working remotely. All of these tools can be used in office as well, but they're things that I find while working remotely I couldn't do without. One of the biggest things being, again, having a wireless service provider that is reliable, which is why I was so excited to share with you about Visible. Actually, speaking of Visible, for every new Visible member that you refer and signs up, you will get phone service for $5 a month. So if you think about it, if you refer a total of 12 members, that is for an entire year paying $5 per month, which is pretty amazing if you ask me. So I linked everything down in my description. Go check Visible out. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it really helpful and valuable as far as what tools I rely on a daily basis and kind of my workflow a little bit more. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more tech and coding related videos, and I will see you all soon. Thanks everyone.